Hey guys, first regardsman here, and I'll be talking about a Stalker bolt rifle build for the tactical class in patch 11.2 of Space Marine 2. Now the Stalker bolt rifle is a very popular weapon in this game, mainly because this weapon does tremendous headshot damage and will positively delete Neurothropes and Zoanthropes, and Neurothropes are some of the most annoying boss fights in this game, so really nice to have for that and really fun to use on top of that fact. Now, for the variant I've chosen today, I have picked up the firepower version. This one has the highest per headshot damage in the entire game of all the options here, and the headshot multiplier is times 2.3. Now, rate of fire can be a bit more DPS if you hit like every single headshot on like a single target, but to be honest, I just prefer per headshot damage at times just because this saves you some ammo. It's also just better for like pot shots and stuff like that. Now for the perk tree on this, I do go down the top row because the top row just has all the damage perks, and really on the tactical class you don't have to worry about ammo that much at all, especially in a team because we have perks here like Emperor's Vengeance, so I just go down this top row for that reason. Now, the first perk we have here is Unwavering Resolve. After reloading while having low ammo, damage increases by 25% for 5 seconds. Moving here into the perk Adamant Hunter. When your health is below 30%, headshots will deal 25% more damage. When you have this perk active, your headshot damage on this weapon is tremendous. It is ridiculous how much you can actually do with like a precise calibration auspex active on a boss. I'll show a little clip of that right now just to give you an idea, but Adamant Hunter is a ridiculously potent perk, but I will say being below 30% HP on a tactical is pretty dangerous because tactical is quite squishy. Next perk here is Headhunter, moving here into the perk Cleaving Fire. Shots will penetrate enemy block stances, dealing 25% of the usual damage. This perk kind of sucks. Like 25% of your damage is not very good, but like very rarely you will be able to like pick up a kill on a Biovore or a Sword Warrior with this. Next perk here is Headhunter once again. Moving here into the perk Agile Hunter. After a perfect time dodge, headshots will deal 35% more damage for 10 seconds. And the final 3 perks we grab are the perk here Fast Reload, down to the perk Great Might for 10% bonus damage against Terminus, and the final perk is Recoupment. Killing a majority level or higher enemy with a headshot, this weapon restores one armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Now, this weapon is a long-range weapon for the most part, or like medium range, so having an armor restore off of that when you're fighting things like Devourers is pretty nice, because usually in Space Marine 2, the way you lose HP on a ranged build like this is that an enemy will chip damage you while you're shooting back at them, and getting this armor back in the middle of that fight is very good for that reason. That's pretty much all there is for the setup on this weapon. Now for the secondary weapon here, I did take a Retribution's Bequest Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol. It has the highest gun strike damage of any weapon in the game currently, and the heroic perk effect here is called No Help is Coming. Shooting an enemy with the Elite Scream status stops it from calling for reinforcements, and headshots will kill in one shot. Now, unfortunately, this perk is currently bugged. Body shots do nothing to stop reinforcement calls, but headshots will still kill in one shot, which is still very powerful. It's just kind of funny they broke this perk once again, but you know, what are you going to do? Now, as far as the perk tree goes for this, I will go down the bottom perk tree first for Divine Might, down here into Perpetual Penetration, into Increased Capacity, Extended Magazine. Then we grab the perk here, Death Strike. After killing a majority level or higher enemy in melee combat, you will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. You can trigger this perk off a finisher, not just like an actual melee kill, so keep that in mind. Actually a lot better than it might seem initially. And the next perk here is Great Might. Then I move up here into Discipline. When you have low ammo, you deal 25% more damage. Then I pick up the perk Strong Finish and move all the way down the row into the perk Tactical Precision. Headshots will deal 20% more damage, and non-headshot damage decreases by 10%. This perk is pretty much mandatory on every bolt weapon in my opinion. Headshots just matter way too much in Space Marine 2, and non-headshot damage hardly matters at all. The only place I'm hesitant to take this perk is on something like the Grenade Launcher or the Combi Melta, because it will reduce the Grenade Launcher damage and the Melta Rifle portion respectively, but on a weapon like this, pretty much always pick it up. Now, I do skip over the bottom row here because the perk Able Damage is very powerful. It just doesn't work too well on Tactical because Tactical does not use its class ability as much as, say, like Assault, Vanguard, or the Heavy. So that's why we build it up this way. That's pretty much all I have to say about the secondary here. Now, the melee weapon I chose for this build is the Power Gladius Heroic Combat Knife. This is a balanced parry window defense, which does kind of suck, but the strength is 14, the speed is 7+, and the cleaving potential is 2, and the heroic perk effect here is called Agile Strike. After a perfect dodge, the next melee attack deals 120% more damage and can be stacked up to 3 times. Now, as of patch 11.0 plus, they actually buffed this up to have a hidden perk effect, where now the damage bonus will last 1 second after the initial attack, so way better than it sounds. This weapon can actually one-shot bosses with the proper setup. really powerful option, and honestly my preferred combat knife in the entire game currently. And for the perk tree, I do set it up this way, going down Perpetual Strength first, moving here to the perk Kinetic Energy. Each consecutive heavy attack increases heavy attack melee damage by 3% up to 30% for 3 seconds. So then I move here to the perk Perpetual Strength, and Perpetual Strength once again for a flat melee damage increase of 10%. Then I pick up the perk here, Heavy Onslaught. Heavy attacks with this weapon deal 15% more melee damage. This perk will affect Shadow Stab as well, not just like your Kinetic Energy, right, Skull Crushers and stuff like that, so keep that in mind. And then I move here into the perk Reeling Blow, up here into the perk Tide of Battle, and then I grab, of course, Shadow Stab. Replace Heavy Swing with Shadow Stab, hold the attack button to charge it, damage increases by 200% per 1 second of charging. This perk is incredible. You pretty much always grab this on a knife. The biggest selling point of the knife in general is the single target damage, and this one just does that in droves, so definitely grab it. This is your boss nuker, your Neurothrope nuker when they're on the ground, stuff like that if you didn't have a Stalker Bolt Rifle, and overall, this is why you grab a combat knife. And the final perk I grab is the Terminus Slayer. Melee damage against Terminus level enemies increases by 20%. Now you could pick up Extremis Slayer if you want, these are both good perks. I'm just going for boss nuking at times, like versus a Carnifex, this perk is very strong. Versus a Neurothrope, we really don't need this too much at all because we do have a Stalker Bolt Rifle, but you know, in general, I just like to build it this way, so that's what I did today. And that's pretty much all there is for the melee weapon here. Now for the perk tree here, we do go all in on the range damage. So first up, I take Balance Distribution. Your primary weapon deals 10% more damage, but your secondary weapon deals 10% less damage. Now, losing 10% damage on your secondary does kind of suck, but having aligned aim will make up for this later anyways, so not too bad for us. And the 10% bonus damage to our primary is pretty damn nice for a Stalker Bolt Rifle. Next perk here is Relentless Pursuit. After a gun strike, range damage will increase by 25% for 10 seconds. Now, a 25% damage buff to your range attacks is substantial, and recently they buffed up this perk to last from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. A 10-second uptime on this feels way better. It is a far superior perk than it used to be. It's much closer to the exacting focus of the sniper previously, because for a very long time, this perk here is just like a straight up better version of the Relentless Pursuit perks that lasted twice as long despite losing 5% damage, but that Relentless Pursuit is way better than that one even because it has a 25% damage buff, and overall, getting gun strikes in Space Marine 2 is very easy, and a 25% range damage bonus is intense. And I also want to say, though, that it is a little unsafe to use this at times because losing out on Heightened Vigor's no knockback can definitely get you killed, but I just picked this one up for that full range damage experience. Next perk here is Emperor's Vengeance. This perk just solves your ammo economy problems entirely. You don't need any ammo perks on your actual gun as long as you pick this up, and the other options here are not bad, like Steady Aim and Emperor's Judgment. They do give you pretty substantial bonuses, it's just that this one is by far the best, so I do pick this one up for this build. Next perk here is Aligned Aim. Range damage increases by 15% for all of your team members. This one is a great perk. Unfortunately, the only reason people don't take this is because the perk up here, Secure Stockpile, is ridiculously powerful, but I just prefer this one for this build because having flat out range damage, it just feels pretty nice. It just makes the weapons themselves feel better, and this one may be better, but this one is more fun to use, at least for me. Next perk here is Vital Data. Scanning Extremis or Terminus level enemy restores your Auspex scan charged by 50%. This perk is incredible. It gives you more Auspexes versus the enemies you want them against, which are Extremis and Terminus, so I pretty much always pick this up. Then I move into the fabled combo of Precise Calibration plus Concentrated Fire. Now, these two perks are the premier boss killing combo in Space Marine 2. This one says enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 75% damage, but the Auspex scan's radius is reduced by 25%. And Concentrated Fire says Auspex scan zone lasts 60% longer, and enemies marked by Auspex scan take an additional 120% damage, but they lose the mark when they leave the scanned area. Now, put together, this is a 195% damage bonus for 60% longer. That is intense. This will blow up a boss if you are coordinated, and to be honest, by yourself with a Stalker Bolt Rifle, if you put this on like a Neurothrope, you'll just remove them from the game. So really good perk combo. I prefer this over Battle Focus at this point because previously Battle Focus used to apply perks like this to the actual scan from the parry. It no longer does that, so having Precise Calibration, I just like this one more. You know, it is up to you. Next perk here is Radiating Impact. A melee finisher additionally deals significant area effect damage in a 10-meter radius. Cooldown is 90 seconds. Now, having this massive AoE is incredible. You will just nuke anyone in your vicinity. It overperforms all the time. It will one-shot Majoras, do significant damage to Extremis and even bosses. Pretty much always pick this up because Signal Jammer is garbage, and Marked for Death is kind of in power crept, so definitely pick this one up. Now for the prestige perk selection, I do take the acuity perk first. Each consecutive headshot increases headshot damage by 3% up to 15%, and the bonus lasts 5 seconds without a headshot. You pretty much pick this up for any bolt weapon in the game. Headshot damage is way too good to give up, and to be honest, the prestige perk selection on tactical is not that good anyways. This is by far one of the best options. Next perk here, skill supplier, and reserve increases by 15%. This perk is pretty nice because it will affect not only your primary but also your secondary weapon, which is really a rarity in this game because even the additional supplies perk on heavy will only affect your primary, so pretty good for that, which is why I do like picking this one up. And also the next perk here will of course be resilience. Medicaid stims restore 40% more HP because having more valuable stims is just very powerful in Space Marine 2. And the final perk here is Fortitude. Health increases by 15% because this perk will simply save your life, and the tactical is a very squishy class. This is like the only tank perk he has, so definitely grab this one. But that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. With the proper auspex on an enemy, you will one-shot a Zoanthrope, you will kill a Neurothrope in like 10 seconds flat. This weapon is not horrific versus Chaos either, but it's definitely better versus Tyrannus just because of how big their heads are. And for the most part, that's where I prefer to use this weapon in general. And hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Here's some gameplay. Bye. Alright, having a Lictor and a Raven on top of that can be a little rough, but Sanctified Wrath, I use that there for the,
Scanning. You can hide from the stars. Subterranean alien pest. We broke the Xenos onslaught.
a little sus. You know, you have to be really careful there when you have no knockback.
Ready to scan.
But Stalker bolt rifle is peak for killing that.
Swapping magazine. All specs tagged to Zoanthropes. Changing magazine. This Neurothrope will leech our vitality, though. The hive mind reels from the zone. All specs deep scan ready. You are fertilizer now, Xenos. Bring on.
A lot of guys.
Exterminate. Throwing crack grenade.
Wow, well, I didn't want to. I didn't want to hit one of the Minoris guys with that, so instead I tossed it off the fucking balcony. Okay. I'd rather that than a Minoris jump on my face.
Pathetic tyranny. Suspects deep scan ready. Enhanced visual incoming. You are fertilizer now, Xenos. Tyranny menace annihilated. Fresh magazine in. Another Xenos firefall eliminated.
That's a lot of guys.
Changing magazine.
Unnamed chapter colors reminds me of Homer Simpson. You know, that's actually a pretty funny thing to say. The Simpsons chapter goes hard. Chapter Master Homer. Not to be confused with Homer from the Odyssey.
Lictor. Sneaky eyes beacon.
I don't know why I was so dedicated to shooting that thing after he dove out of the way of it.
Tyranny artillery in sight. Swapping magazine.
Why didn't you go for executions for armor? Because it's better to save them usually.
Destroy the spore mine.
I mean, I didn't lose any HP there, so I didn't need that much. Also, when you have an execution sitting around,
Suspects trying.
that gives you total safety to do whatever you want. And just take it if you get hit.
We are victorious over the Xenos threat.
High Lords say jump, Minotaurs say how high, true.
My Auspex cannot even compute their numbers.
The Primarch Homer. Chapter Master Bart. Chapter Librarian Lisa. The Simpsons chapter. Sure, we lost half the chapter. Oh, yeah, true. And Homer just can't catch a break.
Main swarm sighted.
Explosive
Await your
barrel
signal,
aura
Captain.
farming, true. Just like I aura farmed that crap grenade by tossing it off the balcony.
Orbital scan estimates the bulk of the swarm will not be in position for a while yet. Keep your heads and get it done.
I see them coming, brothers. Plenty for everyone. The army. The Xenos are forming a pyramid. Switching to close assault.
The bulk of the swarm is continuing along the predicted path. Continue holding.
Battle Sister Marge.
Gusted tyranny.
What would Marge be? Alright guys, somebody get in on that. Get me an AI rendition of the 500 Rules trailer, but it's the Simpsons chapter, and like, it's Bart of Second Company getting past retaking. The retaking all the worlds.
Shore up our perimeter!
Mars would be the librarian. Oh, I feel ya. But Homer, how about to shoot my warp lightning? That would go. Listen, having a Mars librarian would be pretty fucking funny. Flanders is the chaplain.
Halfway there, brothers. Keep it up.
Listen, guys. Those aliens are only not killing us because they're plotting something, so surely we have to shoot them first. You know, I talked about this yesterday, that the only reason the aliens in 40K aren't shooting you is because they're plotting to shoot you later, so you have to shoot them first every time. The Homer heresy. Not to be confused with the Horus Hennessy. Another canon event.
The swarm has almost fully committed. Be ready for my mark.
Are the servers still fucked? Not that I can tell. They seem a lot better today.
You are clear to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards.
Yes, Captain. You heard it.
Stalker bolt rifle does go hard. Brother, which difficulty are you playing on? This is absolute.
Lieutenant Biosigns down 90% and fall. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract. Thunderhawk arriving at evac point. Ramp down and ready.
We can make it. Keep going. All specs ready to scan.
Did you not hear the lieutenant? Move to extract.
That's a Christmas holiday spirit. Big W.
Extraction complete. Returning to orbit.
I feel like that was a lot of range damage that time. Quite a bit. I won't lie, Relentless Pursuit can be a little sus sometimes if you're getting, like, hounded by a Lictor or a Ravener, but... how's that? Not too bad. Okay, let's see, we got 59,000 range damage, 24 shots. That's a pretty hard one. Pretty fun, though.